Screw it, baby. Bright, some rainy day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Woo! Light up your coconut, light up your coconut. Welcome to the Alan Show, 99 cents at the hardware stores. Guys, come on, it's not that hard. Today's show, Rainy Days, very appropriate. Sung by Johnny Nash. I can't see clear now. Knowledge is power. You don't know that until you use it. Have you ever wondered why some people are more ahead of others? There's no mystery under this sun. Put in the time and you get the reward. Easy comes, easy goes. Not a mystery. Otherwise, keep making them more and more fancy, right? Don't get used to this stuff. You know what time it is? Light up your heart, light up your heart, light up your country. Be proud of your country. Come on, man. A man without a country, what is it? A nomad, right? That's where we came from. We were nomadic creatures, right? And we saw that doesn't work, especially during rainy days, right? So when you have a strong country, a strong land, a strong men and women, not whining people, not people complaining about everything. Complaining about everything. Remember the old days? Right? A lot of people like around my age, we live in the old days, right? Oh, when everything was different, right? The new days, right? Slicker, sharper, faster. Is it better? Well, it's an evolution. Life is an evolution. Light up your world, ladies and gentlemen. We're not just Americans, but we also belong to this world called Earth. And we're floating around space. Who knows where it's going, right? Who's driving this thing, right? After all. Some of us know, but hey, let's see if we can share that knowledge. I'm a salesman by trade, been salesman for high item tickets, and in a world where everything is about more, right? Everybody wants more. I'm going to give you a little insight about me. When I was about 13 years old, I was just going into 7th grade, and I went to this engineering school, meaning that you go from elementary, 7th grade, and you come out as an engineer at the other end. Very tough school, like discipline, like military, right? So when I got there, right, I always had everything I need for school, but there was this thing that they were talking about, and they were talking about, one second, and I never forget, because they were talking about pencils. In engineering, right, pencils are special pencils that you use. So they were talking about these pencils that, you have a school board, right? And because it was a school from 7th all the way up to basically university, so you had guys in their 20s already there. So they had this very strong student body, right? But whenever they did something, even the little ones, they had to follow these things. And I didn't know, I just got there, right? They were having this hoopla that they were going to walk because of this still thing called pencils, and that stuck to my mind. I said, come on guys, you want to be engineers and this is your problem, right? But if you didn't follow, then they will call you some other stuff. So, because when I went there, it became a big problem. But luckily, I don't remember if we got the pencils or not, but that was one of the big things. Like, I remember this. It was about this pencil. So from that day forward, I remember that I made it my goal that wherever I go or leave or whatever, I have lots of paper and lots of pencils. So I don't have to complain about it. So I buy them, right? I don't want people to give them to me because I'm the one that's going to use it. So we put in the time, we put in the effort, and we get rewards out of it, even if it's something as simple as a 99-cent pen and pad, right? A lot of things are happening in our country, right? My show is all about seeking answers, understanding through the methods of selling and buying. Because after all, everything is about things, right? Do things really give us happiness? Today is COVID-19 day 250. We began in March 13 when this show began in 2020. And today is the 250th day since that national emergency was instituted in the nation. You should read about what an emergency is so that you know all the powers that are behind it, because that's going to come into play sooner than later. So knowledge is power. You know, you can never suffer as long as you know what's going on and you prepare. If you know it's going to rain, you get an umbrella, right? If you know it's going to rain harder than you can cover on an umbrella, you don't go out. It's common sense, ladies and gentlemen. There is no mystery under the sun. The world is the same for everybody, right? One of the things that I just quoted you is about how life breaks us down, right? Whether it is diseases or heartaches or dealing with another person or dealing with national problems, national disasters or whatever. Look at all the people suffering from hurricanes right now in Central America. My heart goes to those people. And if you are one of these people watching this show, I don't have a lot of subscribers because this is just basically to entertain one person out there, to make one person day, whether it's illustrate you, illuminate you, inspire you, or at least entertain you. If you like to share, please share, like, subscribe, make a comment, be nice. Otherwise, you're not going to play with us. Here's the other thing. My show is not a political show. I'm not interested in political views because at the end of the day, what matters is food on the table and happy families, right? I hear that a lot of things when it comes to politics, people divide this and that, but I guess everybody's entitled to their opinion. Nobody is entitled to take anybody's opinion away. That's wrong. And that can be addressed in a different way, right? So guys, we are entering the second wave of this situation called COVID. My main concern is to help one person out there, just you, you know, that one person. I want to make you smile because guess what? Let's go back to this here. If you can see clearly, then you're going to be all right. It's not a matter of controlling, right? Self-control. Stop trying to control the situation. It's bigger than one person. You need to control yourself, not to panic, not to, I mean, you know that you were most likely to get hit by a car, right? Than going through a nightmare with these things. So you never thought about that before, but guess what? Go to statistics of all the things that could happen to people that are much greater, and it's still today, than what we're going through right now. It is a reality, but whatever happens to us, it makes us strong, right? But if we're going to live in fear, then we can't be help to ourselves, to our family, to anyone else. And guess what? Fear, when it motivates people, it misdirects you and you end up in worse places. Sometimes people, when they run on fear, they create 5 problems out of 1 problem. Always remember that. If you're in fear, stand still and write it, and you'll see that very seldomly it will come through. Now, if you see 1,000 feet wave coming at you, right? Then what's the point of having even feet, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is that the mind is a powerful thing. And one of the things that, as humans, that we neglect the most is controlling those thoughts, controlling that energy, that power that goes through our brain, right? It happens to me every day. Give me 1 second. Every day, my show is not edited, by the way, so I will always do things like this. So if I fall and think it was intentional, something happened, right? Uh, like I do a little schedule every day, from the time I wake up to and then the activities that I do. It helps me with two things: be organized with my time, because time is the only thing that we have, and two, it helps me see how active I am. Sometimes, oh, I put in 10 pounds. I go back to my schedule. I said, man, there is the answer. Lazy. Let's get going. Come on. Let's not waste time. This country, by the way, was built with a hammer, not with a bunch of talking and, what does it help? Everybody arguing about everything. No, this was built with a hammer and nails and somebody pushing, but, right? Not criticizing each other, not saying you're better than me, no, I'm better than you. Or, no, this was built on hard work. And guess what? Everybody's arguing because nobody wants to work hard right now, especially with all these gadgets, right? I managed people for a long time, and my biggest problem was to keep people focused on the task that we were in. So it's a waste of time sometimes. It gets very tiring, because you go from managing production to a babysitter, where you managing behavior, because adults are behaving worse than children these days. And that is something that needs to be addressed in a grand stage. How we can get adults back to being focused on building this world up instead of tearing it down because tantrums, right? Everybody's unhappy about something. I hear people complain at a coffee cup. Something that you can make for like maybe 10, 15 cents in your house. Somebody goes to all the trouble to drive a few miles to sit in a place, a bunch of strangers, right? Which a cup of coffee is one of the most intimate things, right? You do it either with yourself. I get this cup of coffee at 3 p.m. every day, and I sit down with a little bit of sweetie, little pastry or something, and I think for like about 15 minutes, 20. So this is part of that's where I come from. That's what we do. We drink coffee in the afternoon, and I stay with me since I was a child, believe it or not. And it's my moment where I realize what my day has done, and how happy I am that I'm pretty much by 3 o'clock your day is over, right? So you just I call that the latter part of the day. You just land into your bed. It's like coming from Asia in a 737, whatever, the 67, and you're like around maybe you're around between Hawaii and LA. That's 3 p.m. to me. So you're like, so you could see that we're gonna land soon, right? So and then my activities, because I already have them written down, right? Pen and paper. The magic is right here. If people really, really understood the value of these two little simple things that are everywhere here in this country, some countries don't have that luxury. You have them everywhere. Can you believe 99 cents you can buy something this complicated? Or this, just to put the ink in here, would be a pain in the neck. Remember in the old days, right? Remember they used to do that? Put the ink in the... I mean, you can give people everything, and they still will find a way to refuse learning and becoming more kind to one another, because it's easier to tantrum about everything. He empower us in some kind of like bizarro world, because I don't understand how's that gonna. But you see, when people are, part of this was back in the early age of entertainment, when people wanted to attract attention to their image, they created controversy about their own self. It was part of publishing. It is a very sick thing to, because, look at what we do now. People go out and do the craziest things, right? And sometimes people think they don't have consequences. Believe me, all things come to roost. Don't be a dummy, learn, trying to impress people you don't even know. Like, don't be a dummy, learn to be self-confident, self-esteem on your own. That way you can help yourself and other human beings around. Yeah, Mr. Dummy's right. Don't be a dummy. It took me 55 years, mid 50s, to be able to talk to people like this because, to be honest with you, I never had that interest. I've been casted for different things, even movies, but I never had that interest of, because I'm too busy being myself. So, but I because of COVID, this helps me also express myself, right? And if it helps you, well, then, I'm achieving my objective, right? I think the show might get a little more current, stable as we go, because I'm kind of liking the fact that maybe at my age, I might have something to say that might be interesting to some people, especially people around my age. That things like this, they trouble people in certain age demographics because, when they're telling you that this thing is designed to, right, hurt people in certain age, then, it's just nature, right? You can't blame people for feeling depressed, down, or the fact that you can go out normally, right? It could hurt people. So if you have elderlies, if you have people of sensitive health, reach out to them, help them out. If you know somebody's going through a heartache, right? Maybe divorce, maybe bankruptcy, maybe just reach out, just to, hey, like that show that I love so much. I'll tell you the name someday, but it says, I'm just there for you. All right? You don't have to open your mouth. You don't have to be, no. Sometimes just the fact that you know that somebody's just there for you is enough for people to be able to get boosted, get started, and, right? Like when I have my sales, right? When I told a guy, hey, listen, I got you back, you could see the miracles. He went from here to like right here because he knew he did not have to be intimidated by me, which is authority, right? We get scared of authority all the time, or somebody that like has more power over it. So, but when we know that power is on our side, then we feel confident. And part of politics is like that. Sometimes half of the when things are split, like the way we are right now, half of people feel like the country is not backing them up, and the other half, right, is happy because it feels like it's backing them up. But we gotta change that to a more inclusive, where everybody feels their country is backing them up. Because I guarantee you, if you had an emergency, right, and you went to any of the government situation, whether it's hospitals or whatever, they will help you, even if you don't agree with them. Because that's how it is. It's all mental. We gotta learn to trust the process. We gotta learn to trust everything around us. Because without trust, we're gonna be very empty creatures. Because we're gonna be scared all the time of everything, and that can make you make mistakes. So when we're living in rainy days, right? I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. So when we see rainy days ahead, right? Right now in the news, whoa, right? Asteroid is gonna hit the planet, right? You hear that all the time. Wait, where's my asteroid? I just got one. What difference does it make? Can we stop an asteroid, right? And do we know exactly where it's gonna hit us, right? Some guy got one of these in their home, right? What difference does it make watching this all day and night? What difference does it make if there's a pandemic, right? If we're gonna be scared and not be able to do the things that we actually need to do in order to overcome this challenge. It's not the first time that the humanity has crisis, but we're acting, I don't know, it's just, right? So it gets people psychologically understanding the truth shall set you free. Then on the other hand, oh, here comes a part, the salesman, right? Right? More expensive, be fancy, right? It's like cars, right? Oh, airbags, 10 airbags, and I never had a person in my car, right? Fear can sell. So be smart and don't get caught, right? Just open up your window and look how big the world is and how little you need. But if you are going to see your life through the TV and through all this madness of infotainment, then you're going to get, it's like going to a movie, right? One of those boogeyman movies, scary movie, right? When you're in that theater for that particular hour, hour and a half, you're on scare mode. And if you bring a girl, right, scare mode, both of you. And it's exciting, but you know it's entertainment. But when you are getting this information from people that you think they're supposed to be telling you the truth, what a mistake is to trust the truth on people you don't know. You need to know people in order to trust the information. Here's what it is. No matter what happens from today forward in your life, right? The things that you're going to be buying now, you need to make sure that these things are reinforcing your self-esteem. They're reinforcing your self-respect and self-control. A lot of people are shopping to death, which is a bigger disease. Our debt continues to grow up because people are not understanding the whole, whatever, right? You'll get it someday. Or you already got it, but you're still falling for it because it's easier to buy a fan, right? When it's 20 degrees below because it was on sale where you need it, right? It's not about habits, it's about our lifestyle. It's about how we get information and how we perceive information and how we apply information. The same people telling us one thing, they tell us another. And at the end of the day, it's the same problem. People are at each other's right now because they are being hurt into this way of thinking that doesn't work. Right? We are individuals after all. And eventually, even the chicken tried to escape, right? So, what are we going to do, right? Well, you can buy an umbrella for a rainy day, but if it gets to be a hurricane, you need to prepare, right? You need to prepare yourself mentally, physically, spiritually. There's so many holy books out there. There's so many books of love and inspiration, right? I got a card, right? I'm going to show you, but like one with a lovely card, right? And I was looking at a show yesterday and it says, well, do greeting cards have an expiration days? Like, when do you throw them out, right? When do you throw out a greeting card, right? Maybe your mother gave you one. Have you ever looked at it and go, oh no, I'm not going to throw this one. Ex-girlfriend, ex-wives, right? Like, where do they go, all these cards, right? Well, the thing is a greeting card is like your country. When do you give up on your country and it's an expiration date? Right? I had a situation when I was a young kid about pen and paper. And then here in my mid-50s is what created my character. From hardship to strength. Like that quote, life will break us down and makes us stronger. Do not try to be stronger than life. It doesn't work that way. We learn from it, we adapt, and we conquer it. The world is sitting on that. 7.5 billion people, right? Going through the same thing every day, trying to make it to the next day. So, if you can see clearly, not everything is about money. You can use this for joy, or you can use all of this and still be as unhappy as this money can buy too. All right? So, thank you for calling. Thank you for watching the Alan Show. Hopefully this helps you in any way, shape, or form. Please like, share, subscribe, make a comment. And remember, never give up. Never give up. We're still in a great country, no matter what. All right? Embrace it, love it, help it. Time to work hard. The old ways, the new ways. I know these kids today, they 300 horsepower for them is nothing. Guys, for those people who live in earthquake countries, do you know what time it is? Be safe, be prepared. Remember, things are changing fast. Don't worry about asteroids, don't worry about calamity, worry about your inner soul. Love you guys, for a better world every day of the day.